Our next film is about the sad death of Lorna Hayles, sometimes known as Lorna Black, a bubbly, exuberant young woman who, underneath the smiles, may have been rather lonely. She had a 12-year-old son and seemed upset that his adoptive parent was taking him to live abroad. To the world, she remained vivacious and energetic. She was very small, incidentally, just 5 feet tall. Now, around the 1st of August, perhaps as the result of an argument that got out of hand, someone who probably knew her killed her by plunging a carving fork into her neck. The reconstruction begins, though, 1 month after that, on the afternoon of Friday, the 29th of August, in South London. Tasman Road in Brixton. Police were called to investigate a swarm of flies at number 5. Lorna hadn't been seen for weeks and her neighbours were concerned. She was lying on the bedroom floor and forensic tests showed she'd been there since the beginning of the month. She was probably killed on Friday, the 1st of August.
How's Innocent Room? Can I help you?
Detectives have had a great deal of cooperation. Everyone liked Lorna, and they can find no reason for her murder. But maybe you can fill some crucial gaps in the calendar they've built up of her final weeks. This is a week before she died, the City of London, on Thursday, July the 24th. Lorna arrived for work as usual at Call Quick Printers in Chamomile Street, but suddenly packed in her job. Before she left that day, she was her normal, talkative self, and this colleague remembers her saying she was planning a fundraising barbecue for her local Labour Party. To make friends and earn a little extra cash, Lorna helped out in the Brixton Town Hall Social Club. She was last seen here on Friday evening, the 25th of July. The day after, on Saturday the 26th, she came here to Young's Court in Battersea. She still had the keys to her old flat here. She'd sublet the place, but now still called round from time to time.
Part 3 of the Best of Rod. We start with a top 5 hit from the beginning of 1978.
Hi.
Hot Legs.
How are you?
All right.
All right?
Yeah.
Great.
I just come to pick up some things.
That's very good.
This man, Albert, was her tenant, and he recalls that Lorna was planning to go out that afternoon and had called round for a special dress.
Hey, girl, where are you going dressed up like this?
I'm going to a fashion party.
Great.
Does I look nice?
You look beautiful.
This photo shows Lorna in that very dress. She'd hardly be missed in all that striking gold. And yet, still detectives don't know whose party or whose fashion parade Lorna was going to that day. The next day, Sunday, was the day of Lorna's barbecue. But curiously, at 2:30, just before it was due to start, she asked a fellow Labour Party helper to give her a lift here to Clapham Road.
Goodbye. Thanks for the lift. I'll see you later.
All right, see you, Lorna. Bye-bye.
She said she had to go to Putney. It may not be significant, but this is another gap in Lorna's last week. Did she go to Putney that afternoon? She could have taken the Victoria or Northern lines to almost anywhere from Stockwell Tube. By 9 o'clock that evening, her barbecue was almost over, except for 2 couples who arrived late. They apparently knew Lorna, but no one else there knew them. The police say they want them to call in to Crimewatch, simply so they know who these people were. Clapham Common on Wednesday, the 30th of July. It's now about 2 days before Lorna died. The police know she came here that afternoon to hire some videotapes. She had no work that week, and detectives would like to know how else she filled her time.
Hello.
Can I take this?
Even without work, Lorna always kept herself busy. On Thursday lunchtime at the laundrette in Landor Road, these women remember her calling to see if they were free for a sales demonstration at her home that evening.
Are you coming to my handweight party tonight?
I can't, I've got to have my hair re-permed. But can you still order what we wanted? Bleach and a floor cleaner?
I suppose I could do.
Oh, thanks, Lorna.
Bye.
All right, bye, Lorna. Probably see you again tomorrow.
For Lorna, the salesman's visit that evening was another chance to have people round to her house. But though she'd invited others, no one else turned up for the demonstration. The salesman recalls Lorna seemed quite relaxed.
Very clean.
That's basically it. This will last you in the course of about a year.
The salesman left by 9:15, and as far as is known, no one else called round that evening, and Lorna didn't go out. Tasman Road on the morning of Friday, August the 1st. Lorna's papers were delivered, and then there's one last sighting of her as she popped into the laundrette again. As always, she put on a bubbly, cheerful and optimistic front.
I've got an interview in North London with this writer. As a travelling nanny, it means travelling all over the place.
That sounds great. Good luck.
Thanks very much.
Let us know how you get on. Bye.
Oh, by the way, I've ordered your cleaning stuff.
All right, thanks. Bye. Cheers.
And Mr. Richards, that was a curious thing that Lorna said just at the end there. She said that she was going for this job as a travelling nanny. She already knew, I gather, that she hadn't got that job.
Yes, that's true, but Lorna's the sort of girl who'd find it very difficult to admit failure. She wanted success.
She wanted friends.
Yes.
You're pretty sure it was one of the friends that killed her. Now, why do you think that? Why was it someone who knew her?
Well, in most murder cases, of course, it's a friend or somebody who they know. In Lorna's case, we do know she was cautious. She did not open the door to anyone. She either peeped round the curtains before she let anyone in, and I don't think she would let anyone in at that time of the night unless she knew them well.
Now, as I said in the film, you've had enormous cooperation. Her friends have tried to help when they've known you've wanted them. You've traced dozens already, I gather.
Yes, we have. We've spoken to more than 200 people.
But there are still others you need to get in contact with you?
Yes, there are. There are some, I'm sure, who don't even know we're making our inquiries.
Any in particular?
Yes, well, I have a calendar here, which used to hang in her kitchen. And as you can see, on the 9th of August, is detailed a wedding.
Saturday the 9th of August, wedding, it says. She never went, of course, because by then she was dead. But who invited her?
That's exactly what we want to know.
Right. That gold dress she was wearing, now obviously that was very, very distinctive. Nobody's come forward who saw her in that.
No, nobody at all, and I don't believe she would have gone very far away from Battersea, possibly on that Doddington estate where she used to live. Somebody there can come forward and help us.
Right. You've brought an address book.
Yes, I have. This address book was from her handbag, and it shows a party.
There it is in pencil. A party on the 2nd of August, 1986. So who invited Lorna Hayles to a party on the 2nd of August, 1986? Whoever it was, please contact us. Of course, the other thing from the film were those latecomers to the barbecue.
Yes, we still don't know who they are. They could fill in a very important part of the last days of her life. And it's vital that they come forward and talk to us.
Who are they? Any idea?
I've no idea who they are. These are other friends who we just cannot find at the moment.
Now, I gather you have some reason to believe that this was an accidental killing. In other words, whoever did it may not have intended, really, death to be the outcome.
Yes, I've got that very much in mind. And anybody who perhaps is watching this programme, he could rest assured that if he contacts us, we can think it may have been an accident. We're quite willing to talk about that. I think it was a temper and perhaps an immediate accident with one stab wound.
Well, if whoever did it is watching, do please call. Obviously, it's better if you call the police than they call on you. If you've got suspicions, then if you were involved in any of the incidents that we've shown, if you're a friend of hers, if in any way you can help, here's the number, 01811 8055, 01811 8055, or of course you can call the incident room. That's on 01326 1212. That's 01326 1212.